She was homeless. She was 14. And I have no legal right to drive up and pick her up. She's not my child according to the courts.
They came to pick me up, my stepdad and my mom, and basically told me that if I wanted to live in that house and have a happy family, I needed to cut ties with my real father. The family kind of changed after that. Things were different. People weren't really acknowledging me. People were treating me poorly. I felt like I was the enemy in my own house.
Just like with domestic violence, people blame the victim. What did this parent do? They must be doing something to make this child not want to see them. It shows an ignorance of what human development is like and the power that a parent has in that child's life and how they perceive the world. This child has been brainwashed. They hate that parent, or they inherently don't trust them. They don't like them. They don't have a good reason for it.
My dad had my brother snoop through my mom's paperwork.
I got to the point where I resented going with my father. I would yell at him. I would say, I hate you. Why are you doing this?
It was always ingrained in me that my mom was the enemy and that I shouldn't want to see her.
And how much of a liar she was, and all these terrible things about her that I knew wasn't true.
What goes through the mind of a child trained to hate a parent? We talked to Candace, who was brave enough to come forward.
I became deeply fearful of my dad. Iranian culture is not exactly popular in the United States, and my mom showed me that film Not Without My Daughter.
We're not going back. We're staying here. I want us to live in Iran.
And told me this is what your dad's culture is. They're all kidnappers. They want to steal children and hurt women. She really wanted to erase our identity. It was really a very slow process of conditioning me into accepting statements that I otherwise would not have believed. My dad would go to hug me and I would reject him. And I confronted him every chance I got to scream and yell at him about why he was a bad person, why his culture was so bad, and rejecting everything that made him him. When I was at his house, when he would manage to get visitation, I would go through his papers. I knew what I needed to do when I was around his information, and that was to steal it and give it to my mom so she could get him fired and this and that. And that's what she would do. She would call these companies and make accusations pertaining to his national origin. That's one of the hardest things, because there was a lot of abuse in my house growing up with my mom, and those scars are there, but the scars of guilt are just as powerful. And I can't take it back. I can't get time back. And no matter how many times I tell myself or someone else tells me that there was nothing I could do, that I was going to be powerless to this campaign of denigration, and thinking, I need to tell somebody. And the thought that would always stop me is, who's going to listen? They don't listen to my dad. He's an adult. Who's going to listen to a 10-year-old? And then what's going to happen to me? They're not going to give me to my dad. And I don't even know that I know him anymore. What if some of the stuff my mom says is true? What if I'm wrong? I'm just a kid.
After half a decade in family court, a drastic ruling. No contact between the father and any of the children until family therapy had been completed. As the courts often don't diagnose alienation, the judgment made the local papers, which published the entire 120-page ruling.
The ruling was made that he should enter a family reunification program and have temporary no communication with the father. I believe that the father had no intention on Brandon participating in the program. And so there were plans made for him to leave.
We get a phone call. He's in England.
After the ruling, Brandon ran away from home at age 16. His father claimed he didn't know where he was, but he was given money and a passport and resurfaced in a family friend's home in the UK, his father's birthplace.
He wanted all the orders dropped for him to be able to just go straight back to his dad's house. That would be the only way he would come back. I'm going to read the CAPCAS report from Child Protection Services in the UK. Brandon said nothing that helped in my understanding of what has caused the breakdown of his relationship with his mother. The judge in England decided that he could stay there and he would be made ward of the court and that she could not force him to get on the plane to come back.
What a stupid judge. Like, you basically just ruined my life.
It is just like a death. You completely lose your child, but it never ends. It's like walking around with a knife in your heart and it just keeps getting twisted.
My sister was very similar to my mom, and she became very angry and hated my father.
Growing up, we never had that relationship as brothers.
My dad basically took my little sister away, and he moved away.
I haven't seen my brother probably since I was 1.5 or 2.
All day.
After I hit like 5, I didn't see them again until she was 18. I just remember when my dad got a phone call from the two of them, orchestrated by somebody else, saying that they didn't want to see us anymore, and I took it personally. I had this like permanent idea that my sisters didn't want to be in my life. I tried to reach out to Chelsea on like 3 separate occasions, and she told me she didn't want anything to do with me.
Did she give you a reason?
She didn't give me a reason.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
How old were you?
It's 10.
I never knew that. Sorry.
It's okay.
What did your message say?
I'm Carla, your little sister, and I miss you.
The last time I spoke to my older sister was through a message that I sent her on social media.
She'd been at odds with mom and dad for a while. There was something she said that just rubbed me the wrong way, and I just shot her a message and let her know, that really upsets me. I'm uncomfortable with this. I need some space, just because I needed to not be a part of that. And she put it on my mom as, you know, this is you telling Chelsea what to do. This is you pulling Chelsea away. The Facebook post, it was like a picture of an angry woman, and it was something about, go ahead and disagree with me. I'll just say you beat me and you'll never see your kids again. Don't get me wrong, I totally agree that there's always a bias in a divorce court. Sometimes the men, you know, are made to look like the bad guys. It really sucks. But he kept deflecting this, like, towards my mother. It made me angry. And I let him know, you know, hey, I don't appreciate you talking about me like this. I don't appreciate you talking about my mother like this. You know, I'm my own person. I have my own life up here. You know, I have Robert who's raised me, and I consider him my father, and I'm sorry, but that's that.
My parents fought about everything from who pays for the sport.
They are the kind of people to fight over money a lot.
My dad wasn't helping out whatsoever, and my mom was like, no, you know, you have 4 kids.
Decided to, you know, file child support. And that takes, you know, most of his money out of his check because he's working at a grocery store. So what is that, you know? Nothing.
I was childish, immature, and angry. You're not going to let me see my kids, I'm not going to give you the money. And it took them about 3 or 4 months to find me and garnish my wages. And I got $12.45 that paycheck. $2.05. This is my favorite. I got a paycheck for 0. I paid her off, and now I'm paying California off. The money that I'm paying goes directly to the state. You know, I mean, it could go for anything. I mean, garbage collecting, pothole repairs, I have no idea. I just know that the state continues to take money. Not a dime of money that I pay out to child support goes to any of my children. Ooh. Not a single penny. I owed so much because they charged such a large amount of interest that it just built up and built up and built up.
Dizzy isn't the only parent who found himself in debt to the child support system. The child support system can lead to parents being erased. Child support creates a financial incentive for parents to fight for more parenting time. In many jurisdictions,
no idea. I just know that the state continues to take money. Not a dime of money that I pay out to child support goes to any of my children. Not a single penny.
One more time.
The money that I'm paying goes directly to the state. You know, I mean, it could go for anything. I mean, garbage collecting, pothole repairs, I have no idea. I just know that the state continues to take money. Not a dime of money that I pay out to child support goes to any of my children. Not a single penny. I owed so much because they charged such a large amount of interest that it just built up and built up and built up.
Dizzy isn't the only parent who found himself in debt to the child support system. The child support system can lead to parents being erased. Child support creates a financial incentive for parents to fight for more parenting time. In many jurisdictions, more custody time means more child support, with even one extra night making a huge difference. States also earn more federal dollars to enforce child support. And if shared parenting means no child support, then there's a disincentive to grant joint custody or to make it the default option. A parent can lose their driver's license, support, with even one extra night making a huge difference. States also earn more federal dollars to enforce child support. And if shared parenting means no child support, then there's a disincentive to grant joint custody or to make it the default option. A parent can lose their driver's license, passport, and even be incarcerated for not paying child support. But because it's civil court, you have no right to a public defender. And the worst part? In many cases, the support doesn't go to the kids. The state keeps flat fees, percentages, interest payments, and will hold on to all of it if the custodial parent receives welfare. The billions of dollars spent on child support enforcement could be spent on programs that help families, like mediation, mental health services, and enforcing custody orders.
We are at the Shasta County Child Support Division office to make my final payment on child support.